She stood in the center of the courtroom in striking crimson heels, grinning as though she had already claimed victory, as though I had already lost. To the crowd, her laughter rang with triumph, but only I understood the truth, that what had begun in secret would soon unravel in public. That smile of hers would not last long. Across the room, she sat tapping her manicured nails on the polished mahogany, speaking quietly with her attorney, letting out small, mocking laughs. She didn't even glance at me, as if 8 years together could be brushed aside like dust. When the judge reached for the documents, her eyes gleamed with the arrogance of someone certain of her win. But I knew the game hadn't even started. I remembered the first time I saw her at an art gallery, barefoot in an expensive sundress, holding a glass of red wine, laughing in a way that defied the room. Back then, I adored that laugh. Now, it was no longer mine to hear. The first fracture appeared in a midnight message flashing across her phone. She brushed it off, saying it was a colleague. Then came the sudden trips abroad, supposedly with friends. One night, while drinking water in the kitchen, I caught her whispering on the phone. "Not tomorrow," she said softly, not realizing I was there. Something broke inside me, but I didn't lash out. I simply thought, this is where it begins. Quietly, I prepared. I shifted company shares into hidden foundations, funneled assets into secure holdings, drained accounts, and tightened cash flow. My lawyer and financial advisor warned me, but I only nodded. This was my silent war. Then I brought in a private investigator. Within weeks, I had proof, photos, receipts, videos. But the file revealed something worse. The man she thought was her lover was also a wanted criminal. I kept that knowledge close, waiting. On the day of the trial, she swept in dressed like a bride, radiant in white, her companion nearby. She avoided my eyes, but I didn't look away. I knew what was coming. When the judge began reading, the air shifted. "The defendant's assets are entirely under third-party foundations and holdings," he said. Her smile stiffened. Murmurs rippled through the room. Her lawyer leaned in desperately. "Cash assets, 42,000. But it wasn't finished. The courtroom doors opened, and 2 police officers walked straight toward her. She blinked in confusion as they stopped at her table. "Ma'am, you'll need to come with us." For the first time, her eyes met mine. The woman who once carried herself with untouchable pride now shook with fear. "What is this?" she demanded. One officer revealed a file. "There's a warrant for your arrest, fraud and money laundering." The man beside her had already vanished. And in that moment, for the first time in years, I saw her truly alone. When I stepped outside, snow had begun to fall. From behind, the detective who had helped me slipped an envelope into my coat pocket. "The second act is ready," he said. I pulled it out, studied it for a moment, then tore it into pieces, letting them scatter into the snow. "There's no need," I replied. I watched as she was led, handcuffed, into the waiting car. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with fear. With every step she grew smaller, until only her gaze remained, locked on mine. My lips moved silently. "You're free." I saw her one last time as the car door closed, her white dress lost against the snow. And though she had betrayed me countless times, I found I no longer hated her. Because true victory isn't born from anger, it's born from indifference. I gave her what she had wanted all along, freedom. But it was freedom stripped of power, stripped of wealth, stripped of the image she once protected. Alone, broken, nameless. As I walked down the snow-covered street, my hands steady in my pockets, I no longer heard the chaos behind me. I focused only on the silence ahead. One final thought lingered in my mind: battles are not always won with weapons. Sometimes they are won with ink. And I had already written the ending.